CrackBerry.com.
Hi everybody, this is Simon Sage from CrackBerry. We are going to be running through a few quick tips here for using the keyboard on the BlackBerry Z10. The Z10 has a really great virtual keyboard here with some great functionality that might not be immediately visible. So for example, if you want to hide the keyboard here, if there's stuff underneath that you want to see, you can actually swipe down with two fingers and you'll see, for example, down here we've got options for voice notes or adding pictures in the Remember application. You can also hide the keyboard by holding down on the space bar. And if you want to bring the keyboard back up, you just swipe up with two fingers. So fairly intuitive once you know that the trick is there. There are other gestures built into the keyboard. For example, if you want to delete an entire word instead of tapping individually here, you can actually swipe from the backspace key and it will take out the entire previous word. So very handy if you've got a long sentence that you want to wipe out. Now to dictate out loud, all you have to do is hold down on the period button down here. You can see there's a little gray microphone to remind you, and you can actually just speak out loud and it should be able to take notes fairly well. Remember to buy some milk. So you have to hit done after you're done here. Remember to buy some milk. There we go. So it's pretty straightforward and really helpful for those times when your hands are full. Now there are some really great options here for the keyboard, including visual and audio feedback. Those are within the settings, the language and input section here, and you just tap on the on-screen keyboard. So you've got options for key press pop-up as well as the voice, the keyboard feedback volume. So we can just crank that up all the way so you can hear it. But it's pretty straightforward and very helpful. So you'll also see that I've got the letter hovering over top there. So you can actually see what you're typing. Speaking of holding down on the keys here, if you hold down for a second here, you'll get a whole range of accent options here, which can be pretty much vital for those of us speaking anything other than English. So if you're speaking French, you've got all of your accent options available there. Speaking of languages, you've got a whole wide variety of languages that are supported in the BlackBerry 10 keyboard. We're back in the language and input section here. Instead of on-screen keyboard, you want to tap Input Languages. And we've got English there by default, but down here at the bottom, if you tap Add or Change, and you'll have a big, long, wide list of languages available here, all written in their native tongue, so you will be able to recognize it no matter what part of the world you are from. Now sometimes you will be using kind of non-standard words that aren't immediately recognized by the standard English dictionary. For example, noob might not necessarily be recognized. In this case, it auto-corrected to noon, but if we back up, it corrects back to what I'd originally written, but it's got a red underline there. Now let's say if I want to add noob to my dictionary, you just have to tap on the word and tap Add to Dictionary. Once that's in there, you'll be able to see the whole list of user-created words here. Down here at Spell Check, Edit Personal Dictionary. Here we go. And these are all of the various words that you have taught the dictionary to recognize, and it won't be bothering you about fixing anymore. You can always delete these, though. There are options for that. Now when you're typing, there are also symbols that you might want to have access to. There is the symbol button down here, which lets you punch in a whole bunch of symbols, and you can hit the toggle there to get a whole other range of them. But there is a gesture here that's super helpful. Just swipe down from the top, and you switch into that mode. You swipe down from the top again, and you just cycle through all three keyboards that way. It's very helpful and can save you just a quick little split second once you get used to using it. Now, one really cool feature here that's kind of always been around BlackBerry is automated substitution. You may have noticed that back here within our settings here. We'll hop into Spell Check. Wait, no, Automated Assistance. Here we go. So it has its own section here you jump into word substitution, and basically this will automatically change certain things that you type into full words. This might be annoying in some cases. For example, if you want to say sec instead of seconds regularly, if you don't want to have the full seconds there, and you can always turn that off. You can always remove commands as well as add them. And there are a few here that are more interesting commands. For example, my number will punch in your phone number, which we can try here. So what was it? Nope. It's not one I use too often. My number. Okay. Boom. And there we go. It automatically shunts over to the phone number. So very helpful stuff there once you figure out what words autocorrect. And once you get used to it, you can start programming in your own. That's about it for the BlackBerry 10 keyboard. It takes a little bit of getting used to, but definitely fun to use, especially once you get used to all its little quirks.